Okay, everyone, we're going to start up our live show, the stockpickprofits.com market wrap for Monday, July 9th. It's the start of a nice new week, and it was a great start to the week. So we'll give everyone a chance to sign on here, and we'll talk about the legalities a little bit. Past performance is not an indicator of future performance. We are not registered advisors. Anything said in this show is not an offer to buy or sell any security or anything. This is for entertainment purposes only. And as always, read the fine print. Okay, so we'll give everybody Savars here. Hey, there's my buddy. Yeah. First one in the room every time. Love you, man. So we'll give him, Savar, we'll give him a minute or two here to get signed on before we get started, brother. Hope you had a great Monday. Roland's here, Marco. So I think we got enough people to get started. Let's go ahead and start. Okay, so yeah, we are the Stock Pick Profits Market Recap. This is Monday, July 9th, and there's a lot of stuff to start to talk about. So let's get started. A great day for the markets, right? Dow was up over about 1.3%. The S&P was up about a percent, almost a percent. It was up over a percent most of the day. The Nasdaq participated in the rally. Good old tech came through again. What's the difference? What's the difference between today and last week? Well, banks led the way. The financials finally came into the play. We expected it to happen. We saw the percolating of it on Friday, and it just rolled right into Monday, and it's come full force. Look, banks report on Friday. So it's a big week for banks and financials. And, you know, we set up a bunch of plays for banks, you know, Bank of America, we like, we've talked about AINV, Apollo. We like some of these, and we're positioned. We're real happy with it, and we're real happy that the financials started to participate today. Snap got a boost. We've been talking about Snap for a couple weeks. It started off with a bang with the market right this morning. Then it just kind of petered down red. And guess what? Some news came out. It looks like they might be partnering up with Amazon, and that's always a good thing, right? When you're on Jeff Bezos' team. So that boosted the stock. It was up over $14. It kind of pulled back at the end of the day, but it was still up a couple percent, a couple percent. What was pulling it down and what was pulling social media down was Twitter today, right? I guess they're doing a purge on their user base. And what's happening is all these dead accounts, they're starting to take them out finally. And people were starting to worry. I guess an analyst came out with a note and he said that, what if this affects their subscriber numbers? And, you know, Twitter's chief technology officer came out today and made a statement, and it made sense, and it helped the stock find a bottom and kind of recover there. But what he was saying was all these accounts are accounts that aren't even used. They haven't been used for months. They never post. They never do anything. They're just, you know, maybe you started one for your dog or something. Or maybe grandma had one, she got bored with it. And that's all they're doing. So, you know, even as a player, investor side, you got to kind of understand that makes a lot of sense, right? You want to get all that crap out of your system so you can have a nice, fresh, good user count. If you're a player in Twitter too, consider this. You want a nice, clean earnings report, right? So you don't want all that crap in it. Anyways, some of the upcoming events. What's upcoming? Well, first of all, we've got some economic news on Wednesday. We don't really have anything tomorrow. But let's see if we get some follow through from this rally today. It was a really, really strong rally across the board. We got a little economic news on Wednesday. We'll keep an eye on that. Other than that, we've got after, I think it's about 3 o'clock our time, 2 o'clock our time. But 8 o'clock tonight, Eastern time, Donald Trump will announce his SCOTUS pick. So let's see how that goes. Already, without even knowing who it is, the left side is already making these serious attacks. So this should be entertaining, if nothing else, right? This whole administration has been entertaining. So, you know, and that just goes back to the upcoming events. So it could be a very, very exciting week. It started off very exciting, right? We started off today. We had a nice rally, and we've been talking about it for the last week and a half, 2 weeks, is that we're getting everything we wanted to push the market up, but we weren't getting anything from financials. And that was straight across the board. I mean, we even had a rally in utilities, which are supposed to be rate hike adverse, right? And they've been rallying. So everything was participating in banks, and we saw the power of banks joining the rally today. So let's see how that goes. You got your big three reporting on Friday. Will we continue this momentum going into it? Who knows? Let's ride the train. So that kind of covers everything for what's going on today. And we're not going to make this a long show today because it's Monday. We're coming off the weekend, and it was a busy day. The team, we're not sure what you guys were up to, but the team was really working hard today. And we've got a lot of work, too, going into tomorrow. So let's talk about our saying of the day. Now, our saying of the day is from Grant Cardone. He, inspirational writer, inspirational speaker, motivator, and all that stuff. But he wrote a book that one of our favorites, and it's the old Ricky Bobby. You might not know who Ricky Bobby is, but you might know it when I say this. If you're not fat first, you're last. That was the book that he wrote. But he's got this other saying here that we really like. There's no shortage of money in this world. Start hustling. And this really plays into investors and the people that spend their time posting on message boards and talking about money, and the people that are actually making money. There is no shortage of money in this world. Start hustling. You're not going to make any money arguing about a stock on a message board. You're not going to make any money talking about what other people made in their portfolios on a message board. You're not going to make any money being right on a message board. The only way you're going to make money is to get in there and play the game. So, like we always say, if you're interested, there's the link at the bottom. But just remember that about money. There is no shortage of money in the world. You got to go get it. I had a professor that once told me this. And he said, Pat, he said, look, there's a million ways to make $1 million. You only got to find one, right? Kind of makes the odds a little bit easier to digest. So look, let's go right to the questions because, like we said, it's been a good Monday, and we want to revel in it a little bit. Let's get all you guys out there so you can enjoy. Get ready for Tuesday. Marco, yes, shake and bake. There you go. Now you see me. Now you don't. The magic man. All right. And roll in. Welcome. Thank you for joining us as always, Marco, Savar. You guys are great. But yeah, good job, Marco. Marco, you're the one that remember the Ricky Bobby. But it's funny, when we first saw that movie, we thought about that. I remember I was seeing it with somebody who's actually familiar with Grant Cardone and his books, and we were watching the movie. Like, hey, that was Grant Cardone. If you're not first, you're last, and it makes some sense, right? I mean, really. Everything you do in life, you should be shooting for the top. You should be shooting for the stars. It's the old saying. Shoot for the universe. If you end up with a couple planets, well, you're still way ahead, right? But always shoot for first. Don't play for participation trophies. Don't play to just cross the finish line. Cross that finish line first. We like that. We're competitive over here. We're a competitive group. So I don't know, if anybody's got any questions that you want to ask, go ahead and post them in the bottom. Other than that, we'll make this a quick show today. Like we said, going into oh man, yeah. Hey, Jesse, love the green in the portfolio today. Yeah, and that should just keep extending now, Jesse. We've spent this, 2-3 weeks positioning. It looks like we called it right on trade. It looks like we called it right on Snap and all these other stocks. It definitely looks like we're going to look really smart on banks. So like we said, if you want to be like Jesse and come in here and say, hey, look at my portfolio today, and that's the way it should be. We've talked about this how many times. Investing is not just is never just a take a nap kind of thing. What it is, it's always fluid. And so you always want to be, whether you're working, whatever you're doing on your portfolio, you always want to be doing something. You want to know what's going on. There's times when the best thing to do is, Marco, I think that's one's a Snap question, right? So go ahead and post that one in the group. I bet you that's a Snap question. So, okay, look, let's talk about it, okay? Because Samuel actually mentioned this morning. We were talking to Samuel. Look, okay, so we played Snap, the $13 calls. Okay, we got some $13 calls expiring on Friday. We'll just come out publicly with this, okay? So we bought these. We're up a little bit on these now. I think we're up about 35%. A little bit more of a move will be really nice on those. And what we're talking about is executing some of them. What does that mean? Well, for you viewers out there that have never been involved in this situation, when you buy a contract of Snap, you buy a call. It's expires 7/13, and it's a $13 strike. That gives you the right to buy 100 shares of Snap on or before the 13th at $13. So we're sitting on this pretty little play, and on the 13th, these expire. So we're probably going to convert some, and that's kind of fun, right? Say you have 25 shares or 25 contracts, and you sell 24, and say you make $5,000-$6,000 off it, right? Or whatever you make. Then you use 1,300 of that to get yourself 100 free shares of Snap, which Snap, by the way, is still got that big short interest in it, and we still think it's going to go higher. Remember now, its IPO price was $17. So that's break even for a lot of people that have been holding this for a long time. $16 we're down the road. So in case any of you want to do that. But that's what's happening with that, Marco. So any more details on that, you go ahead and ask in the group, Marco, and the team will address it right away. But that's what's going on for you viewers right now, and that's the joy of our service. We always talk about stress-free trading and taking advantage of opportunity and not leaving any money on the table and things like that. This Snap play is a very, very good example of that, right? So we really, really are happy with the Snap play. So, and other than that, just before we close it up, we're still in Bank of America. We like Bank of America. We like AINV. We like the market to push higher. We like the market to rally into Friday. Now, if we get a bump in the road or something like that, something from the news cycle, we'll deal with it. But right now, we're real happy with conditions, and we think it looks like that shoulder we were talking about for the last 2 weeks, that right shoulder developing on the S&P chart. It looks like that's been discombobulated, and it was a bear trap. So if you guys don't know what a bear trap is, it keeps looking like it's going short. Everybody starts taking up short positions, and guess what? It goes up. So, guys, gals, everybody out there, let's call it a day. Let's call it a show. Thank you very much for joining us today. You guys keep an eye on your portfolios. Don't forget, Trump is announcing his Supreme Court of the United States pick nomination a couple hours after this show. And we'll be back to talk about this more tomorrow. You guys have a great afternoon. It was a great Monday. Enjoy.